Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having an amazing, amazing day. Hello, Nikki. So good to see you. Love, love, love. Angelina, Fidel, Mafona, Kevin. So great to see you guys. I'm so happy to be here. So today we have a really awesome talk that we have to talk about today. Let me just share some of this really quickly and make sure. If you guys want to share the live, please feel free to do so. All right, there you go. All right. Okay. So, Lee, so great to see you. All right. So today we have a really important topic. We're going to be, so all of this alchemy transformation, how are you guys doing so far? I want to do a quick check-in. How are you guys feeling? How are the exercise working out for you? The meditations? Where do you need help? I know some people have been placing some questions in the chat. I'm going to be taking a look at those in a moment. The primary question is, what do we need to assist you? And how can I be of service to help you move forward and any blockages that you're having? Um, most of the work that we're doing right now is focused on the inner alchemy, everything to do with how to purify the energy from the center core of the body in order to create this system of transformation and healing in the body. And today we're going to talk about how that system works. Essentially, as we discuss and learn about alchemical transformation, we are learning how to give birth to the true self. And that's really what today's talk is about. It's about what does it mean to become the true self, the third, the child. In through history, all of the most revered deities, such as Jesus, Krishna, all of these incredibly beautiful deities that have been seen as uh, birthed from a virgin womb into creation with incredibly increased abilities and gifts and powers that have helped heal and change the world. This is a representation. It is a representation of what we can reach more than a literal, in a literal sense, thinking of a deity as something external that needs to be worshipped. It's more of an example and a looking at the true blueprint of mankind before it became distorted through the inversions of, let's say, the implementation of a holographic system, which takes things out of balance. And when we are investing in, when we incarnate into the physical body, we go through the process of gestation, in which we enter the point of zero, where we come in fresh from this source, from this infinite consciousness, and in the womb begin to gestate, begin to experience what it's like to begin to feel separation. And we begin to explore the feeling of separation through the mind, body, and soul as we solidify and crystallize in the physical body. By the time we are born, by the time we actually come out of the body, we are already feeling duality and experiencing duality in such a profound way, in many different ways. We begin to experience it the moment we leave the safety and the protection and warmth of the womb into life and take the first air. It's a very violent experience that can be very traumatizing for this human, this very sensitive and fine human. And that process in itself is an initiation. The initiation of going from something warm, comfortable, and known into something completely unknown is essentially the invitation for the soul to be able to experience something beyond its comfort zone, to extend and to grow and to evolve. And essentially, that's the entire manifestation of what it means to embody this human life. That from the moment of birth to the moment of growing up, now as a child, as an adult, we have to experience love, joy, fear, pain, all of these different kinds of emotions that allow us to understand and experience contrast in so many different ways. But what does it mean, this child to be born in the physical, experiencing this duality? We also learn that the integration of that duality, that when that duality comes into being one through the unification of a mother and a father, this is the formula for creating life. And the formula for creating life is a fractal design that is encoded and embedded in our genetic code down to the cellular level into the largest macrocosmic example of creation and life. And within those ranges of creation, we experience various ranges of consciousness. The consciousness is available to the organisms that become aware of themselves. And this is the key, because the organisms that become aware of themselves are the ones that begin to question and manage and explore this duality in a way that can be a conducive and interactive experience for the human. This is where the human begins to expand, explore, and transform, and experiences 100 years, if not more, of an opportunity to experience duality and to master creation. Okay, so the entire process of creation is something that we see as a fractal design in everything in and around us. And the human body functions in such a powerful way. It is designed in such an intelligent and exact manner that every single organ has a purpose. Every single system inside the body plays a role in creating perfect flows of life force, perfect systems of exact intelligence that allow the body to nourish itself, to process, to absorb the nutrients that it requires, and to eliminate out of the body. And it is this incredible intelligence, the ebb and flow of life, in which we also experience duality, the experiences of receiving, nurturing, and releasing. So it's also a cycle of life and death. We bring life into the body, we absorb the life in order to sustain the physical body, and what dies or what leaves the body, what we eliminate out of the body, is most of the stuff that no longer nourishes the body, and it can be perceived as something that is dying. But as you know, there is no such substance that just disappears from this universe. It is always recycling itself, regenerating, and using, because that life force that we release can be composed to create more life. It's a life force. It's a condensed life force that is utilized to continue and propel cycles of life, which extend in and around us as well. So we are so intricately linked to a network of creation. We are intricately linked to a network of life. And in order for us to be in balance with the natural laws and the order of this universe, it requires the refinement of the non-physical senses, of all of our senses that allow us to experience this physical three-dimensional duality. The senses that allow us to begin to experience touch, taste, sensations, emotions, feelings, energies, knowings, all of those are the languages of the universe, more so than just verbal language. And when we communicate with one another, we communicate with the entire body. We can see the facial expressions, we can see muscle contraction, we can see a person's body language, we can see how they sit, how they walk, in order to be able to understand what is being communicated. And the beauty about that is that a person within their whole self is one universe, and they can communicate a lot of information when we are interacting. And you yourself, when you are expressing yourself, are communicating in universes in ways that we might not always be able to perceive. But when we begin to activate these higher senses, we can receive that information and process it. And as we discussed before, the manner of processing the physical information data like these are patterns of waves. shapes, forms, a frequency, which we are already pre-programmed in order to recognize. We know the shape of love, we know the shape of fear, we know the shape of consciousness and the shape of survival. All of these shapes are forms that our body naturally makes, and they're shapes that we find in nature. Our physical body, when we are processing these emotions, absorb it into the pores, into the flesh, the muscles, the bones, down to the cellular level. Um, and all of those networks that are translating that information begin to generate side effect reactions that cause chemical side effects. And in the physical organs, are told what to do in order to sustain balance. So, every single organ is absorbing energy and life force, especially emotional life force. For example, when we do something like watching TV, when we're watching, we go into a state of hypnosis because of the patterns of light that bring us into a state of hypnosis. But that hypnotic state is lulling the brain waves into a state of unconsciousness, but highly suggestible. Highly suggestible. Anytime that you are not sleeping, you are awake but unconscious of your body, you are highly suggestible. So, what that means is that we can absorb with all our body instructions and informations. And the parts of the body that actually take that information and turn it into important data are the internal organs, the spleen, kidney, pancreas, liver, and stomach. These main organs in the body are, as we talked about earlier, connected with different elements that help us understand the transmutation process that occurs within the physical body. So, when we're watching television, even though you are unconscious and you are highly suggestible in a state of hypnosis, your life force is being depleted out of the body, not through the unconscious state, but it's through the organs that it becomes to be depleted. Because the organs are the ones that are processing data subconsciously. It is the chemicals that are being secreted by the endocrine system, survival mechanisms in the body, chemicals that are produced that are either feel good chemicals or stress chemicals when we are watching things, different things that cause these reactions. So what happens is that we deplete life force, and even though we might be distracted and we might have this idea that we're resting or recuperating, in fact, the body is being heavily depleted from its life force. And it is the same when we enter into relationships that are imbalanced, that the physical body begins to feel depleted in these exchanges. It is through the organs. So, in order to counter any of these parasitic interactions that we might encounter in our everyday life, the importance of cultivating life force within the organs in order to regenerate life force is really important. Exercises like Qigong, like breathing, accessing information in the body, begin to create a network of communication between the organs. Okay, so when the body goes into balance, there is a flow of life force that goes in through the organs in a cyclical pattern. And this cyclical pattern of integration begins to cultivate life force, which produces the main center of empowerment, which is the lower dantian. So, within this center of empowerment, once we are able to cultivate enough life force, and we cultivate life force by learning how to utilize and be completely conscious in the body, number one, being absolutely present, not distracting or depleting energy through the sensation body, through pleasures. In which we are only releasing life force energy, that and like for in the example of watching TV, right? So any activity that is done unconsciously and we might think is entertaining, the reason why we select activities like this is because we end up externalizing the attention outwardly. The attention to satiate that emptiness the emotions, strong emotions, sadness, sorrow, loneliness, whatever emotion might be coming up for you or that you have a difficult time processing, is what is accumulated behind exhaustion. The reason why humans become exhausted at the end of the day is because a lot of our life force is being depleted because we are mostly in states of unconsciousness. So, in order to regenerate constantly, presence is required in the body. GPAC, ground, protect, align, co create. So, the reason for that presence is that when you're fully present in the body, you are connecting to the network that is within your body, within the internal organs that are constantly creating life force in the body. And that awareness allows you to decide if you want to be unconscious in a show, in music, even because music, for example, they have patterns of vibrational frequencies that stir up and generate certain emotions in the body. Sad songs, love songs, all of these kinds of musics that are very, very emotional are meant to heighten emotions within us. And they manipulates our emotions because we are unconscious and because oftentimes we haven't resolved our own emotional state. So it becomes a resonance and it magnifies anything that is subconsciously there. This is like putting the human in a constant loop of reliving their trauma over and over and over again. And instead of the human actually being entertained and in a joy state of love and happiness, it becomes a very addictive cycle of energy depletion instead, and a distraction in which the human has no ability to choose what is happening in the body. So, this redirection of attention, of looking externally for something to fulfill the internal body, is something that is incredibly empowering. The redirection of our attention to the internal body allows us to begin to learn that the joy, that real pure joy that the human truly desires, which is love, joy, peace, harmony, all of those things are innate to us. They're an innate part of the human. And it is part of this soul aspect of yourself, which is a potent life force generator of life and creation. So, in order for that creation to come to life, the unification of duality internally is the ability to master and connect with this physical body, to create harmony internally within the organs and within the collective body through an internal marriage. And the internal marriage is the integration of the feminine and the masculine. It is the integration, above all, of the three aspects of the physical body. We have the physical self, the higher self. And when these two unite, when these two become married, when the higher self marries the physical self, the third can be born. And the third is the true self. The third is the one that is the master creator. It is the Christ, it is the Krishna, it is the Buddha, it is the one that is born of that internal unification. And so we actually are able to access that birth of our self by the integration. How do we do the integration? The integration is occurring through the inner alchemy, which means the transmutation of all of the lower things that continue to seek externally to be satiated or to give or to love any part of us. We redirect that attention from looking externally to the internal, and we close the energetic loop. When we don't close the energetic loop, we just have energy leaking out of the body. And the energy can leak through sexual energy, which is one of our most powerful energies, which is one of our most powerful creative energies. In fact, I mentioned before that people that used to be very, very high spiritual level would cultivate a lot of this energy in order to not deplete it and utilize it by rising it up into the pineal gland and alchemizing that energy into something that became a spiritual life force. In the physical body, this is how we create that marriage. But in order to even begin talking about that kind of internal rising of life force in the body, there has to be an internal alchemy that has to happen first. And that internal alchemy is by purifying. What does purifying mean? I want to be very clear about that because some people feel that when they feel negative emotions, it's something bad. And I want to be very clear that this work is about nothing but truth. How do we access the absolute truth of yourself? So we want to understand all of the emotions that we feel that causes depletion of life force and transmute them into an understanding of a higher generation of frequency, but not just imposed, but processed through the body. And that requires awareness of the emotions at first and being able to integrate the fractals of ourselves from these experiences. What does that mean? It means that anywhere that we find that ourself is at war with ourselves, okay, so negative emotions are a cause of a disconnect. When we are born, and I know this after hundreds of hypnotherapies and DNA reprogrammings, that when we are born with an innate knowing, an innate knowing in the womb. Every person that goes back to the womb has a profound knowing of who they are. They have a profound knowing of love, some kind of love, which is undefinable for them at that point. But they have a knowing of balance, of nature, of the laws of unity of the universe, because they have just come from that. They experienced the process of this magical process of gestation, of coming from cells into this incredibly complex, intelligent organism. And it's with that refined beauty, that exact creation, that we discover the closest feeling to this infinite source. In that magnificent bliss state of co-creation is where the human can begin to find the true self, the third. When the third is born, it is the whole. It is united to everything at once. And so that's the unification process that happens consciously, subconsciously, and then in the collective subconscious as it begins to reintegrate fractals of itself from many timelines, this lifetime and other lifetimes. So we begin to collect these parts of us that we have kind of disintegrated. So, as we are creating this process, one of the most powerful parts of this work is that we learn how to identify the blockages in us that continue to see things as separate, the ones that are at war with another. The majority of these blockages are created for the lack of acceptance, the lack of forgiveness, and the lack of understanding what love is, or unconditional love. So even though we innately are born into this feeling and sensation of what that is, we need to remember what that is. We need to go back to that. When we're children, we are so embedded and programmed with growing up and being quick and kind of adjusting to this growing cycle of life, that we very quickly want to depart from this childlike state of awe and wonderment and excitement and exploration. But you will find through this process that the more you go into the 0 point, the more you're going to become like a child, childlike state, expansive, free, loving, unconditionally exploring. So this expression of this childlike state, this innocence that we come back to, is created by the ability of seeing everything, light and dark, and holding your space simultaneously at the same time. Um, and it is important to see your shadow. It is important to see the parts that are difficult to accept, the parts that are still triggering pain body, in order to be able to integrate that part of you. Okay. So today we're going to work on just that. We're going to take a look at who is this divine third that is within us that we can have access to at any time. And that would be the one that we are giving birth to, is the true self. Okay. So I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to come here in the chat and say hello to everyone. Hello, Fidel, Angelina. So great to see you. Mafona, Kevin, Lee, Balorma. Hi, Balorma. So great to see you. Fidel, Kevin, Sun Lazuli, feeling more and more clear and aligned every day. So much trauma has released through the loving integration of this work. Very grateful. Thank you so much for being here and for your work. Siobhan, so glad I made it live. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning, Geraldine. Due to load shedding, I will have to do this later today. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Every day, enjoy this beautiful day. Sending love. Much love. Samantha, Lee, more of my thoughts are manifesting in my reality. That's so wonderful, Samantha. Siobhan, thank you so much for that super chat. I really appreciate it. It's so wonderful and generous of you. Samantha, I have been seeing dreams about teeth. What does that mean? That's interesting. Teeth represent ancestral blockages, ancestral lineages, ancestral karma cycles. And it's really, really interesting depending on what part of your teeth is impacted or having issues. Every single tooth, remember we talked about how everything is a microcosm. The ear is like a microcosm of the whole body. The base of the feet, the palms of the hands, the internal organs are a microcosm of information. So are the teeth. So every single tooth connects to certain organs in the body. So if you take a look at, what in your dream, if you can remember, if it's all your teeth or some of your teeth, it might tell you the organ that is connected to that trauma. And it might tell you the kind of emotional blockage that is connecting to that organ. Really interesting. I've done a lot of dream work with clients looking at some of these dreams, and it's amazing what we've been able to find. But more importantly, assisting the person in healing, detoxing, and reintegrating from these programs. As soon as you identify what the message is, you can utilize that in your meditation and allow yourself to reintegrate fragments from that emotional understanding. Justin says, stay up. Katie says, Katie Order from New Zealand. So great to have you here. Nadara, so wonderful to see you. Welcome. Thank you so much, Blue Cruz, for being here. El Portal de Alana. It is my first time live. So grateful for this course and generosity and love that we are receiving. All aspects of my life are changing for the best. Awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. Kiran Bihari, you got this. Thank you so much for being here. Yes. Doug, thank you for being here. Katie, this is so beautiful. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you so much, Katie. Fidel, thank you so much for that very generous gift. I am so thankful for that. Much love to you. All right, my loves. So let's get started. We're going to jump right into the meditation. I want you guys to get very comfortable, and we're going to take a nice deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Breathing. With every breath you take, allowing yourself to come into a state of complete neutrality, complete relaxation. We're going to begin by visualizing a warm golden light coming down from source into the crown of the head. And as it goes into the crown of the head, it begins to release any tension in the brow. Make sure this is not scrunched up. Make sure it's super loose. Cheekbones. You would be surprised how tense sometimes the face gets. And the jaw. Make sure that you're not clenching your teeth. We're going to put the tongue to the roof of the mouth, the palate of the mouth, and begin to breathe gently down to the base of the spine. Inhale and exhale as we begin to bring the body into a state of complete neutrality, complete relaxation. Going into the shoulders, releasing the shoulders, letting the shoulders drop, allowing yourself to get nice and comfortable into the arms, feeling the weight of the arms, relaxing the hands, going into the chest, feeling the oxygen entering and leaving the body. Going down into the solar plexus, into the center core. Noticing the emotions in the body at the beginning of this session. Gently releasing all of the muscles in the solar plexus. Going down into the sacral now, into the lower back, lower abdomen. Breathing deeply into the abdomen. Going into the pelvic area, into the joints of the thighs and the hips. Breathing. Going down into the thighs, into the knees, the shins, the calves, the feet. As you begin to reconnect with your body as a whole, I want you to feel your body here in this time and space. I want you to feel the space around you. Feel the chair that you are, or the bed, wherever it is that you're sitting. Feel what's underneath your body holding your weight. With every breath you take, being aware of every time the body begins to want to re-tense up again, we're going to be conscious and aware. We're going to redirect our attention and bring it back into a state of expansion and relaxation. Go ahead and visualize grounding yourself down to the center of the earth as you come into your five senses. What are you hearing, smelling, tasting, touching? Excellent. You're going to visualize a field around your body. Go ahead and visualize a field made out of something impenetrable. Go ahead and create that orb around your body and make sure that you are able to see this bubble all around you, above, below, to all the sides, diagonally, in both directions. As you visualize yourself becoming completely enclosed inside of this sphere. And this sphere represents the extension of our energy, the extension of our energetic body. So just tune in. How far out does this energy extend around you? Sometimes it just needs to be a couple feet away from us. Sometimes it can be the size of the block in which you live on. Just tune in. We're going to begin by clearing any energy that doesn't belong here. And we're going to begin to focus on the root chakra. Go ahead and focus on the root. Go ahead and notice the state that your root chakra is in at this moment. Is it vibrant? Is it stagnant? Is it wide open, out of balance? Take a look at that. Go up to your sacral as you shrink that root chakra down to the size of a dime. Go up to the sacral. Same thing. Take a look at it. What's the current state of this sacral chakra? It's going to tell you where you're at in regards to relationships, the way you feel about yourself. Take a look at that. Very good. From source, we're going to bring down a powerful wave of golden light that comes down from source and combines with this beautiful energy all around you. Go ahead and bring it in as you go up into the solar plexus. And in the solar plexus, you're going to visualize shrinking that chakra down to the size of a dime, front and back, disconnecting any imbalance in the emotional body. Breathing. Two things that you have to remember in energy healing: drinking lots of water, staying hydrated, and breathing. Okay? Really important. Go up into the heart chakra now. You're going to expand the heart chakra, opening the center of unconditional love, front and back. Open that center. You're going to go up into the throat now. Go ahead and expand that throat chakra, front and back, opening the center of communication and coherence. Very good. You're going to go up into the throat, opening the center of communication, and into the third eye, expanding the area of intuition. Front and back. See that now. Now that you're here, I want you to see your creative color, and you're going to put it up into the 8th chakra, send it down into the 7th, illuminate the 7th, activating the area for career, abundance, love, consciousness, joy, harmony, success, balance, health, vitality, and also your purpose. What is your purpose? Fill it in. As you see your 7th chakra illuminating in every area, begin to feel the generation of energy that begins to grow within the body, within your energetic field. We're going to bring now from the earth a powerful wave of green life force that comes in to meet that gold cosmic energy. So you're going to begin to mix gold and green energy all around your body, breathing deeply, inhaling and exhaling. And with every inhale, we're absorbing that cosmic energy into the body that allows the body to replenish, regenerate, rejuvenate, and heal. You're going to go up now as you begin to mix these two energies. I want you to channel that cosmic energy back down to the center of the earth. Take green and gold energy and eliminate everything that you're clearing out of your body, any debris, into the center of the earth. See that now. We're going to take 80% of this combination, send it up the spine from the crown of the head, creating a fountain coating the outside of your field. Go ahead and see that energy coating the outside of your field. I want you to call back your life force into your body. Very good. Neutralizing yourself after the day, after the week. And we're going to go deeper now. So now that you're running energy through the three dimensions of the body, remember the three: the higher self, the physical, and the heart, which unifies the both and becomes one. The third is emerging from the heart, from unconditional love. So the unification of these two aspects, major aspects of ourselves, is what begins to generate a powerful vortex in the body. So I want you to begin to feel that the vortex of your lower body begins to spin. Just notice which direction it's spinning. And the vortex of your upper body is also spinning. As you begin to spin these areas, you begin to feel a beautiful healing and cleansing sensation moving from the body. Very good. So as your vortex begins to spin faster and faster, we are going to be transported now, transported all the way back in time as you begin to take yourself back to the womb. And as you take yourself back to the womb, I want you to begin to observe what it feels like being here in the womb. Observe the warmth, observe the calm, the peace, the safety. And I want you to connect with yourself here in this womb, the self that you were before any programming, the self that you were before experiencing separation, pain, suffering. Take a look at this self. Breathing deeply. And as you connect with that innate self, I just want you to notice the color, the life force that revolves around your body. What color is that life force? I want you to bring your body into a state of absolute peace. This peace that you knew within the womb before you started becoming programmed, coming into the earth, into the world. It's a very powerful and unique kind of peace that you feel here. It is a knowing, and I want you to notice, what is it that causes such peace in this knowing? Breathing deeply. I want you to begin to tune in to the feeling of harmony and balance. What does it feel like to feel harmony and balance here in the womb before your programming? Take a look at that. It's a very powerful, powerful emotion. And I want you to notice the parts of your body that also respond as you identify this feeling. Breathing. Go ahead and tune in to the feeling of bliss here within the womb. I want you to get very acquainted with this feeling of bliss. The bliss that you felt before programming, before fear, before you experienced separation. The fact that you, through your memory body, begin to feel and bring into the present moment these feelings. You are rewriting neural pathways and creating new programs in your body. And the more that you bring yourself to feel these emotions on a daily basis, hourly, momentarily through the day, the more you will reprogram your entire nervous system. So at this time, I want you to completely immerse yourself into this feeling of love, unconditional love. How does it feel to experience the feeling of unconditional love before your programming? See if you can connect with that. It is innately encoded in your cells, even if you've had a very difficult life, even if you've had tremendous amounts of trauma, stories, and events. This love is encoded in your blueprint, and it is accessible to you anytime you desire. So bring yourself to feeling that love in your body now. And I want you to notice how your body responds to that love. Notice how certain organs begin to readjust, muscles begin to expand, nervous system begins to calm down, breathing begins to regulate. This is the beginning of the birth of the new self. But don't focus on that yet. Allow yourself to surrender. Allow yourself to immerse yourself into the feeling of this love, as if you're going into a warm bath, a bath that envelopes you fully. Breathing. I want you to begin to observe as a contrast all of the fractals of yourself, the versions of yourself once you are born. From this place of love, I want you to begin to observe yourself at the time of birth, as you are growing up, observing the emotions of mother and father from here. In contrast, do we recognize this same kind of unconditional love within them? Without judgment, just observing. As you come into the world, as we meet those that will provide us nourishment, protection, warmth, Notice how sensitive you are as a child that can pick up on everything. This is how sensitive your children are now, for those of you that have children. Begin to observe how we went through life as children, exploring, learning, experiencing. And as you begin to observe the fractals of yourself that did not feel this love, begin to observe how did we begin to lose our connection to this unconditional love, this peace. Just observe what's behind the behavior that drives man to begin to dive into this survival state. As you begin to observe the parts of you that have been in survival throughout your life. These are the fractals of yourself that have created programs. Begin to see these parts of you. Observe them, the kinds of things that they do, their desires. Notice where they hold their energy. Are they fluidly allowing it to flow and co-create, or are they constricting? Are they their best friends, or are they abandoning themselves? Just notice all of those are examples of energy expression. Breathing. With every breath you take, as you begin to look at all of your fractals, looking at their states of survival, what is it that they are most afraid of? If you could take it down to one thing that you observe in common with all of these parts, take a look at that. What does it mean to be in a constant state of survival for you today? As you begin to observe yourself in your everyday actions in your life today, how much of your life force is depleted? Take a look at that. Being in a constant state of survival. And as you begin to look at yourself, all of these parts, what is it that they require in order to no longer be in a state of survival? What is the opposite of survival? What does that look like? Gently observe as you see all of yourselves in survival through life and through last week, 24 hours. What would you look like if you were not in a survival state? How would your choices be different? Your emotions be different? Your expressions? Take a look at that. Breathing all the way down to the base of the spine and out. So you begin to see all the fractals of yourself beginning to take on new forms. We have literally reprogrammed and opened space for a new way of being and seeing. I want you to see all of these fractals merging into one self. And I want you to surround them and provide them with everything that they require in order to no longer be in survival, whether that's love, support, acknowledgement of the self, validation of the self. All of the things that these parts of survival seek externally, I want you to provide everything that they seek so that you can begin to become the generator of all that you require. Everything you need, you provide infinitely, abundantly. As you see these fractals of yourself healing now, I want you to inhale them into your body. And we're going to illuminate the violet light. I want you to go up into the highest level of your pineal gland, looking above in the darkness until you see that violet light. I want you to shine that violet light to that little mirror behind the eyeballs, to the pineal gland as it begins to refract. You're going to inhale deeply with the tongue at the roof of the mouth, absorbing that violet light from the ethers, absorbing it from everything around us. And you're going to channel that violet light into a refraction light that begins to shine into the liver. The green color goes to the liver. Breathe deeply, cleaning and healing that liver. The heart, we're bringing red. Bring that red color into the heart, gently, lightly, lovingly. We're bringing that yellow into the spleen. Breathing, absorbing that violet light as it refracts into this rainbow spectrum that begins to nourish all of the main organs. White into the lungs, white into the lungs as the lungs begin to absorb this powerful white light, healing the lungs, regenerating. It's also the large intestines, Bring it into the large intestines. Going up into the kidneys, bring that blue light into the kidneys. Allowing that blue light to enter into the kidneys now, healing the body. One by one, all of the organs begin to fill up with this source and everything that they require to bring it into their balance. Breathing deeply. And as you begin to move the energy, we're going to move the energy from the liver to the heart, to the spleen, to the lungs, to the kidneys. Allowing a flow of life force to begin to generate all around the body. As we begin to create this vortex of energy, moving life force between the organs, I want you to bring happiness into these organs. I want each organ to smile. Make your organ smile. You can laugh, you can smile. I want you to fill the organs with joy as they begin to produce these beautiful reflections of light that regenerate, rejuvenate, and restore the natural functions that align with the natural rhythms of this earth. Breathing deeply. As you begin to create this network of energy in through all the organs, the gallbladder, the small intestine, the stomach, the large intestines, the bladder, they all begin to move in this life force. And as you begin to fill each one of these organs with joy, you create chi, life force energy of empowerment within your body. I want you to visualize that with every breath you take, all of the organs are absorbing this joy, this chi, into all of the organs, into the skin, into every layer of the body. This is the fountain of youth. As you begin to create this vortex of energy, we are refracting this incredible violet light, and it is absorbing into the organs, healing. And from there emerges joy. From there emerges nourishment. So if you are feeling tired, if you feel sick, if you feel sad, lonely, depressed, confused, bring yourself into this state to begin to generate life force in the solar plexus and your lower dantian, and fill yourself up with this regenerative energy. As you begin to distribute this joy into all parts of the body, I want you to go into your heart. I want you to fill your heart with this joy, with this love. Go into your back, fill your back with love. Fill your solar plexus, front and back, with love. Really infuse it. Imagine that you're just absorbing it, this delicious light, into the sacral. Absorb it into the sacral, into the root. Absorb it into the root. We're going to go back up into the throat. Absorb it into the throat. Feel your throat expanding. Feel the light expanding in your body. Go up into the third eye. Absorb this joy, this love into the third eye. As you begin to create a marriage between all of the systems of the body, joy and love is what brings a marriage. So, as the entire body begins to unite internally, there is no war inside of this body. All your thoughts of the past or the future are gone. You are fully present here in your physical body, generating this life force. This is the power of manifestation. It's a PowerPoint of integration and co creation. So for those of you that want to know how do I manifest things in my life, you bring yourself here. And from here, you begin to have clarity of where you want to direct that life force. So begin to allow your body to just absorb and receive. And I want you to just identify something that you require at this time. We're not asking for material things. We're asking for the highest level of your soul. What does it require at this time in order to access its highest expression? This is the moment and the way to manifest with the body. Breathing. Your entire body becomes a generator of life force. So we're going to pull up the energy now that we have asked for what we need. We're going to pull it from the base of the spine, up the spine, now that we have purified some of this energy, up gently up into the spine and up into the pineal gland, gently allowing that fall of life force through the front of the body. The tongue is at the roof of the mouth, closing the circuit, creating a circuit of life force through the body. Redirecting that life force up into the spine, into creative energy, into unconditional love. Inhale deeply. Yeah. Grounding down to the center of the earth. Excellent. Excellent work. Allow yourself to move side to side if you need to readjust this energy in the body, opening the root back into a balanced state. Go ahead and clear out any blockages in the root, opening up the sacral back into a balanced state, cleaning up the blockages in the sacral, cleaning up the solar plexus, opening it back into a balanced state, coming into a state of neutrality. Okay, and the solar plexus back into a balanced state. Excellent. As you allow yourself to activate your 7th and your 8th chakra, go ahead and send it up into the 9th. Activate the 9th. Activate the 10th. Activate the 11th. Activate the 12th. Activate the 13th. Activate the 14th. The 15th. The 16th. And above you is a powerful white light of source. I want you to anchor that white light down into your body. As you begin to expand these higher chakras, as you work with them daily to expand more and more, your perception begins to change into a unity consciousness. The 3rd is born. Allow yourself to bring that pillar of white light down through the center core of your body, anchoring down through the perineum. Breathing deeply. I want you to come into a state of absolute love. As you begin to open your eyes and come back into the room, you are grounded down to the center of the earth. You are protected in a field of light. Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. You guys did amazing. And I really hope that this technique is something that you can use on a daily basis to regenerate the organs. Utilizing the organs in the proper way so that they can regenerate is really about where our attention is. Any time that we deplete our life force by unconscious actions, incongruent behaviors, or any time that we let go of ourselves in order to honor something external to supplement and to provide support, protection, acknowledgement, validation, love for the self. This is how we deplete our life force. So we need to cultivate it within the body, and it's in the organs that we can do that. So with every breath you take every day, connect with the organs and bring that life force into the body. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. As always, it's such an honor to be here. I love you so much. I love how you are so dedicated to the work and you do the work with me. Thank you so much. I really want to give a huge thank you to everyone that is joining me on this journey. And please know that I'm here to serve. So write your questions. Tell me what you need help with. What's not working? Let's make it work. Vicky, so great to see you from Italy. Hope to be there soon. Katie Ann, hello. Celestial Rose Alchemy, thank you so much for being here. I am so happy that you came back. You had such amazing questions last time, and I hope to answer them again. Lisa Davy, so much gratitude, extremely generous of you, Geraldine. Thank you for all the love, teaching us all how to transform ourselves into the truth and inner light. Yes, yes. Justin, stay up. Going to sleep now. Yes, thank you for joining us, Celestial. I'm so glad you like Celestial Rose says that she likes our colorful graphics. That's so awesome. Thank you. I'm glad you do. Rob Core, Anders, great to see you here. Ricardo, thank you very much. Kiran, head is tingling. Awesome. That's okay. Activate that. Make sure you're grounded. Ricardo says, wonderful, Geraldine. Mark Sanchez, thanks for being you. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I love you. Have an amazing night, and I will see you tomorrow. All my love. By the way, tomorrow we're going to do the video early at 12, just to let you know. We'll be live 12 to 1. All right. Much love. See you then. Bye-bye. Wow, Samantha, you're able to do your body parts. Yay. Love you. Bye-bye.